What's up, guys, and welcome to today's vlog. Today we are going to be doing a Q&A as I prompted for questions, and I got a couple, so we're going to do that. First thing I want to say though is, and totally feel free not to do this, but if you want to, I've had a lot of comments about you should do a gaming channel because people like my live streams. So I now have a gaming channel. It's called Seabolt Plays. Link will be in the description below. Feel free to go check that out. Give it a subscribe if you want some gaming content. No guarantees of every day. Again, this is my #1 priority, but I'm going to try to get up multiple videos a week. If I can do every day, that's great. But I don't know if I can run 2 channels with videos every single day, but we will see. But let's get into this Q&A. Also, that doesn't mean that live streams are going off of this channel. There's just going to be gaming, like more gaming content on that other one. If that makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to pull questions from YouTube first, and the first question is from RC Cole. He says, what is Traci's favorite video game? What is your favorite childhood toy? Both good questions. Traci's favorite video game, she is asleep. I should have thought about this prior to, but we had to get Noah to bed. Traci's favorite video game that I can think of, there's a couple. I'm going to name 3 of them. One is The Day of the Tentacle. 2 is going to be Maniac Mansion for the Nintendo. I've witnessed her play through it and beat it in less than half an hour. It's pretty fantastic. I know she loves that game. But she also really, really loves Donkey Kong Country 2. We play that all the time. So those are going to be her 3 favorite games. And as far as what is my favorite toy, that's actually kind of tough, but the thing that I played with the most as a kid, and even honestly, sadly, into kind of an adulthood, is my wrestling figures. You guys know that I'm huge fans. I would set it up, I would run tournaments, I would have Champions Crown, I would run storylines, I had the Monster Ring. So my wrestling figures, those are my favorites. I would set up stables, I would do cross-promotional matches between WCW and WWF and ECW. I had figures from everywhere. I tried to collect every figure that I could. Still to this day, I mean, if you watch my vlogs, you know that I go into Walmart, I see some figures, and I get excited. Wrestling figures hold a special place to me. So overall, my favorite childhood toy, 100%, and it's not one specific one, but it's my wrestling figures. Now, the wrestling figures that I thought felt the best, and if you played with wrestling figures, you probably know what I'm talking about. If not, you don't. But the figures that I thought just fit together the best for perfect wrestling matches was, strangely, the British Bulldog and Mark Marrow. For whatever reason, their body types, the way that those characters were built, like the specific pieces, they just fit together so perfectly for suplexes or body slams, or like the British Bulldog's Oklahoma Slam, or even Mark Marrow's TKO. Like, it all flowed so perfectly. Next up is by the wonderful, my favorite YouTuber, Brandon Friesen. What is your favorite TV show? My favorite TV show of all time, Three's Company. I love this show. I have every season 1. It's just my favorite show. Something about the dynamic of it. John Ritter is like just a physical comedian. He's just a genius. And then especially when Mr. Furley came into it, I thought it was fantastic. And I think that the show did a ton of stuff to push the boundaries of TV in which we hadn't seen at the time. Not that I was alive to really see that, but like just seeing some of the stuff and some of the controversial issues they dealt with, it was perfect. Not to mention their ability for tongue-in-cheek and situational humor to this day has not been matched. This is my favorite show. I've seen every episode of this multiple times. I love I think every different version of the cast fit in perfectly. Like, it's not like some TV shows where one person leaves and it's like, ugh. Like when Suzanne Summers left and Priscilla Barnes came in, filled in perfectly, fit the scheme perfectly. Again, Mr. Furley came in and took over for the Ropers. I don't know. Favorite show ever. Hands down, no question. If you haven't seen any of that show, go to YouTube and just search for like compilations of like some of John Ritter's physical comedy from it. You will not see anything funnier. It is amazing. Now, if you're talking about current television show, that's my favorite show of all time. Favorite current television show, actually, I don't know where all this is broadcasted at, but it's a show called Superstore. Like, I know it's on American TV, but Brandon's from Canada. I don't know if it's in Canada or not. I don't really know how that works. But Superstore, simply because I worked retail and I feel there's a lot of relatability to it. Very, very funny show. Next question is from Cameron Mullins, actually a guy I went to school with, and then he moved away and I hadn't talked to him, and he randomly stumbled across my YouTube channel, so that's really cool. But this is from Cameron. What do you think of flat earth theories? I am not here to bash anyone at all. You're totally entitled to believe what you want to believe. I don't believe that. That's all I'll say. Everybody's free to believe their own things, but no, the Earth is totally round. Yeah. All right, we are going to Facebook. What are your... This is from Matt Eder. What are your thoughts on GameStop changing their Circle of Life policy? I don't know what they're changing it from, but I can tell you the Circle of Life policy is nonsense. They tried to use that to be like, oh, well, this... Basically, it was trades drive new games, and trades also drive getting the Game Informer subscription because you get the trade-in bonus. Well, new games also lead to more trade-ins, which lead... It was a whole big thing, and it was nonsense, man. Like, they could not wrap their head around the fact that some people don't like to get rid of their stuff. That whole Circle of Life stuff was nonsense. It was basically just a way for the company to be like, we can still fire whoever we want to because we can, and it just gives us an extra reason to do it. So, I don't know what they're changing it to, but the Circle of Life policy was garbage. No one that worked at GameStop liked that thing. Next up, several questions from Adrian Navarre. What are some of your pet peeves? My biggest pet peeve, probably one of my biggest pet peeves anyway, is when you're reading... Now, this doesn't happen a lot anymore, but this used to be. You're reading a magazine, right, and you flip it open, and it's like article on page 113, right? So you go through and you flip through, and there's no page numbers at the bottom. That drives me nuts. Are you going to do the family hike strolls you mentioned now that it's heated up? Absolutely. I plan on soon going to the Cascades, which is in Virginia. I'm going to do that, and then of course local hiking and stuff like that I'm going to do. I'm trying to get my buddy Billy involved. He loves to like hike and stuff like that. My sister Amanda, maybe I can go to Fredericksburg and see her and do some hiking, but absolutely that is going to happen. Since Tracy will be done teaching for the summer, do you guys have plans for more trips? We would love to take more trips. The problem right now is just money. I'm not saying that we're like poor or super poor or anything. It's just saving up money and having to buy formula and diapers and all this stuff for baby. It just doesn't leave a lot of room for saving up money. We have talked about potentially doing like a day trip to Pigeon Forge, just waking up super early, maybe leaving about 6, getting down there at like 9:30 or 10, hanging out, doing everything, and then maybe driving back at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. But that's just a lot of driving all in one day. But definitely, we do want to go to some more places. Right now, we're just trying to see if it's more feasible. And by more feasible, I mean if it's possible. What did that... I don't even understand what I just said right there. We're trying to see if it's possible. Any desire for any more tattoos? Absolutely, I always have a desire for it. Always heard, once you get one, they're addicting, you'll want more, and that's true. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 tattoos? Is that right? I have a bunch, and I would like to get more. Not a question, more of a suggestion. You should do a baby meet and greet when baby Silas arrives. Absolutely. My buddy Adam and his wife Myra, I guess my buddy Myra also, my buddy Adam and Myra, they are getting ready to have a baby. And absolutely, I would love to do a meet and greet. Or, well, I would love to get them together so they can play and stuff like that. That definitely, I'm sure that's going to happen. So, what was your favorite vacation that you ever took and why? I've taken a lot of awesome vacations in my life. I've had the opportunity to go see my sister in Georgia a ton. Always had fun when I went down with my dad. On my mom's side, I went to Orlando one year. Went to Disney. I was, I think, 7 because my baby sister was only, I don't even think she was 1, so she's 7 years younger than me, so. That was fun, and then of course with my dad, I'd always go to the beach. We would stay at a hotel called Tropical Seasons in Myrtle Beach. Had a blast. It was always so fun, man. Just going and just being with the family and stuff. And sometimes like more family would go, or sometimes it would just be me and my dad and my stepmom and my stepbrother. Those are always stick out in my mind. With my mom, I went to Washington D.C. I've done a ton of really, really cool things. But probably my favorite vacation is the honeymoon that me and Tracy took to Pigeon Forge. My brother, him and his wife, let us use a like a resort that down there, so we get to stay at like a sweet resort. And honestly, you know, it's not that we did a whole lot different or anything, but just what really stands out is just that was our first vacation as a married couple, and like it just meant a lot. You know what I mean? Like it was just super fun to go down. We were married, hanging out, and just kind of that first vacation of like starting your family, that just always sticks out to me. That question was by Tim Wallace, by the way. Next question, who you got, Joe or Brock at Great Balls of Fire? Who I would like to see win is Joe, but I don't want Joe to, like, here, I think they're rushing this. Honestly, I guess if we're going on it, I want Brock to win at the pay-per-view because I would like for this to be drawn out for a good 6 months, and I would like for this to fully cultivate at WrestleMania. Joe versus Brock at Mania. Joe beating Brock for the title after this dominant reign from Brock. My God, would that be amazing. I hope that happens. So if Joe wins, that's fine. I feel that WWE has gotten into a place where they love to speed up the booking, kind of like with Bayley winning the women's title, and she was crying and oh my God, my childhood dream, but it's like, man, that was so forced. Like, you've literally only been on the main roster for like a month. Like, I feel like they try to rush their booking. I don't know why, but I'm not an armchair booker or any of that crap. Obviously, I don't run a successful TV show, but I still think that they do that. But I hope that Brock wins simply so they can build this thing up and they can cultivate at WrestleMania with Joe getting the title. Bobby Stiltner, that was from Harry Sands. Did I say his name? I think I'm getting bad with names. That was Harry. Bobby Stiltner, what was your surprise moment, best and worst from E3 this year? Best moment, honestly, was Nintendo killing the conference. I think that it's awesome that people are kind of getting back on the Nintendo train. Now, obviously, I jumped off, like, I thought the Wii was really cool at the start, but then it's like, once you realize it's just a gimmick and no one is producing actual games for it, it's kind of just like, well, that sucks. But I think it's awesome that Nintendo got back on the train. Surprise moment would probably be Metroid 4. I'm not even a Metroid Prime fan, but I don't think a lot of people were expecting that. That kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere. Worst moment from this year's show, and I'll get ate up for this because of Xbox fanboys, but I think that just the announcing of the Xbox One X, just the name is so stupid to me. I don't hate the console, personally, I don't like it, so don't attack me. But yeah, I'd say that pretty much sums up my E3 thoughts. And last but not least, this is from my brother Adam. You can always count on him to chip in with an amazing question. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Absolutely. Alright guys, and that is going to do it for the Q&A. Thank you guys so much for the questions. If you have any more questions or any further questions, leave them in this video, and I will get back to them as soon as I can. But I'm going to end the video here, get this edited, get it up for you guys so you guys can enjoy it when you wake up or do whatever. Saturday I don't really have much planned. I know that my cousin is in from North Carolina, so it just kind of depends on what's going on there. Don't forget, gaming channel link is in the description. I do have 2 videos recorded. I'm going to be recording more tonight. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow.